cards are lined up, all in a row. Call them right, and your money will grow on Card Sharks. And here's the host of Card Sharks, Jim Perry.
Thank you very much, and welcome to Card Sharks. Nice to have you here. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. You're very kind. And our thanks to, thank you. Our thanks to Gail Bennett from Hinckley, Utah for that opening poem. Thank you, Gail. Now let's get to the cards. Ladies, if you will, load in the cards, and you can see we have a game in progress with these Card Sharks. Allison McCall, our champion. Hi, Allison. Nice to see you. Our student from Pepperdine College.
Yeah.
You're all bubbly and peppy again, huh?
Sure.
Well, you have every right to be peppy because you've won $3,400 in cash here on the show. Now, you said you're going to go on a trip with it.
With who? My roommate. We're going to San Francisco. We're going shopping.
You're going to spend all the money shopping, huh?
No, just a little bit.
Oh, all right. You're going to save a little, huh?
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, though.
Oh, well, save it. It's good to do that occasionally, you know. A penny saved and all that.
Penny.
Good to have you back, Allison. And our challenger is Joe Aiello. Hi, Joe. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
I want you again to remind us about yourself.
Okay, my name is Joe Aiello. I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm an airline flight attendant manager, at least for another week and a half. I got a call yesterday, as a matter of fact, after the show that I just got promoted. So I'm moving over into the marketing department.
Well, congratulations.
And my girlfriend is real happy to hear that. She's been upset that I meet 1,000 girls a week anyway.
That's right. Yeah, she's going to get you away from those stewardesses now, right?
Yeah, we're getting married tomorrow.
Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
And, of course, the cards have been shuffled and they're cut. Allison, the champion, plays the upper cards, the red cards. Joe, the challenger, the lower cards, the blue cards. We play the best 2 out of 3, and Joe won game number 1. So, Allison, if you want to hang on to that championship, you need this game. Question 2, as we pick up where we left off, goes to you, Allison. We asked 100 women. Now, everyone knows the story of how Eve got Adam to take a bite from the apple even though he didn't want to. Do you think you could convince a man to do something he was determined not to do? How many of those 100 women said they could convince him?
Well, I think that, I could convince pretty many guys to do something, because, I mean, you know, girls have this certain way of doing certain things. I'd say that, 35 women said that they could convince him.
35 said they had the power of Eve, Joe, in effect.
Jim, almost anybody can convince me almost anything. I'm an easy play. I'll say higher than 35.
Even higher than that? Yeah. Well, if it is higher, you'll go to the board first, Joe. If not, it'll be Allison. And Joe has a lot of agreement. Let's find out if we're right. The actual number of women who could get a man to do something he was determined not to do is 76. Right. Joe, very much higher.
All right, let's get rid of that 8.
Yes, we left off with Joe having an 8 as a base card. You won the question.
Nice,
you have the right to change it. 2.
All right, okay, higher.
Higher than a 5. Oh, no, it's a 2. And you lose that card and give Allison a free chance to play off the jack. You didn't win the question. You can't change it.
Okay, the next card is lower.
Lower than a jack. It's a 3.
Yes, the next card is higher.
Higher than a 3. Yes, with a queen.
The next card is lower.
Lower than a queen. It is a 6.
I'll go for it, and I'll say that the next card is higher.
She's going to go for it. If this is higher, you've tied up the match. If it is not higher, you're going to lose every card back to the base card. For the win, oh, it's lower. All 4 cards. That's the chance you take, Allison. So Janice will fill in the spaces, and Joe, the question to you. Joe, we polled 100 members of the International Association of Women Police. These are all police women. We asked them, have you ever had to frisk a man? How many police women said yes?
Oh, yeah. I would say 85. Sure, that's part of their job.
Oh, 85 police women have had to frisk a man, Allison.
I agree that it's their job, but I say it's just a little bit lower. I think that it's just a little bit lower.
You say lower. We didn't ask how many enjoyed it. The actual number of police women who have had to frisk a man is 82. It is just a little lower, Allison. Well, Allison, do you want that jack?
I'll keep the jack, and I'll say the next card is lower.
Lower than a jack.
Lower!
Oh, no, it's an ace. It is not lower, and Joe gets the free chance to play off the
Okay.
5.
Jim, higher than the 5.
Higher than a
Gotta
5?
go right.
Yes,
Okay.
the 9.
I'll freeze on the 9.
You'll freeze it. We move over the freeze bar, and now with Joe needing 2 cards and Allison needing 4, we're at sudden death. Someone has to win with this play of the cards. Allison, we asked 100 Playboy bunnies. As a child, were you an ugly duckling? Aw. How many Playboy bunnies were ugly ducklings?
I would say that to be a Playboy bunny, you have to have some kind of, you have to be pretty attractive. And I'd say that...
Very graphic, Allison, yes.
Wow. I'd say that I'll go right down the line and say 50 were ugly.
50 Playboy bunnies considered themselves ugly ducklings as children, Joe.
Okay, I've known 2 Playboy bunnies, all I've ever known, and both of them, as a matter of fact, said that they were not the best-looking young kids. I'll say higher.
Even higher.
Little bit higher.
This will give someone control of the board, and the actual number of Playboy bunnies who were ugly ducklings as a child is 23, not higher. Allison. Allison, you've got control and an interesting board. You need 4 cards to win. Joe needs 2. Your decision, Allison. Play it or pass it? What are you going to do?
I'll pass it.
You'll pass it. All right, Joe, you've got a 9. You can't change it. If you can turn both of these over, you're the new champion. One mistake, we've got a tied-up match. Call this.
Play it with the odds. We'll say lower, Jim.
Lower than a 9. It is a 6.
Higher.
Higher for the championship. No, and Allison wins it. Tying up the match. Each player with 1 game and $100, and we'll set up for the tiebreaker. And in a good match, just 3 cards up there and 3 questions here. Joe, we asked 100 married women, have you ever given away the punchline to a joke your husband was trying to tell? How many women said yes, they have?
Boy, it's happened to me. I would say not quite 50. I'd say 40.
40 married women have given away the punchline to their husband's joke.
I have a big mouth, I know, and I think that a lot of ladies have big mouths and they just want to get their 2 cents in. I say it's a little bit higher.
Higher. The actual number of married women who've given the punchline away to a joke their husband was telling is 29, not higher. Joe, you get that all-important control of the tiebreaker, starting with a 6. Do you want it?
I'll change that, Jim.
Changing it to a 7. Not a good change.
Jim, we'll say higher.
Higher than a 7. Yes,
Okay.
King.
Lower.
We have a new champion if it's lower, and it is. Joe wins it in the tiebreaker. Congratulations, Joe. And Allison, you're leaving us with $3,500.
I had a great time.
Thank you. Have a good time shopping and good luck with your studies. Allison McCall, thank you. Joe, come on down. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Joe's going to go for the big money with the money cards right after this. We're back with our champion, Joe Aiello. Joe, you got $200 in the game, so you're off to a good start. Did you think you'd win that much?
$200?
Yeah.
Well, I was hoping, but I'd like to win a lot more.
That's the way to feel. Let's do it right now. Let's open the board and get to the money cards. Hop on up there, Joe. And the money cards have been shuffled and cut. Janice will deal them out, and we'll give you $200 of betting money on the bottom line and 3 cards. Your decision how you bet them. Move up to the second level. $200 more, 3 more cards. Minimum bets, remember, are $50. So you get to the top card, the big bet. There you must bet at least half the money.
Okay.
We're with you, Joe. Here's $200.
Nice 2.
A nice
Real
2 to
low.
start with. Well, we're going to give you a choice of 2 cards to start with. Remember, you can change them as you go up to each of the 2 succeeding levels. You'll start with a 5. Do you want it?
Okay, I'll bet $100 higher.
You going to play the 5?
Play the 5 and $100 higher.
Going to bet half of it. $100 higher than a 5. Oh, no, it's a 4. Ooh. Down to $100.
Okay, we'll bet it all higher.
$100 higher
high
than a
one.
4. Yes.
Okay.
Attack. Now we're moving. $200, Joe.
Okay, we'll bet it all lower.
$200 lower than a jack. No, another jack. And you busted on the bottom level, but you're not out of it because the other $200 of betting money is yours as we move up the jack. Do you want that jack?
Yes, we'll stay with the jack, and I'll say $150 lower.
$150 lower than a jack. It is a 7. 350.
350 and a 7. I'll say 150 higher.
Big bet, $150 higher than a 7. No, it's a 5.
Okay.
Back down to 200 again.
What you gonna do? All of it higher.
$200 higher. Let's see a face card now. An ace!
Okay.
That's better than a face card. $400 and up goes the ace.
Jim, I think I'll keep the ace, and we'll bet it all high, all lower.
All right. For
Come on, Jim,
$800
do me
lower than an ace. Okay. And with the $200 in the game, Joe, a nice round $1,000 for that play on Card Shark.
Sounds great to me.
Good job. Thank you. It's some tough cards. Played them very well. Come on over here, Joe, so we can see your handsome face. We're going to meet a new challenger right after this commercial break.